Good morning, everyone. Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. The sun is up. I wanted to get this video published. It is Thursday. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave comments. Always appreciated. Amazon orders appreciated. Lori and Patrizia, thank you for sending warm, comforting beverages. You know that's appreciated. I did a little survey. Some people like longer videos, some people like shorter videos. Some people like chatty videos, some people don't like chatty videos, and nobody likes music. So that we are clear on. So this is a back-to-back House of Cards and then an itty bitty book. So this is definitely a longer video, so it could be 2 cups of coffee. I don't know. Put your feet up. Enjoy the videos. Thank you for all of your support. The St. Genevieve workshop has just a couple of openings left, and I have just a few of the book that I wrote, The Little Girl with Painted Hands. I have a few of those that I will dedicate and send out if you go to my website and order those. You can also sign up for the St. Genevieve Altered Book Workshop on my website, and then there's some unsupervised classes. And someone did request more of the fabric book tutorials unsupervised, and I will get to that, I promise. All right, anything else that I need to check in about? This was fun, the House of Cards, and Kathy sent me some itty bitties, and I made a fun little book with that. Lots of practice with the Coptic binding. I do have a video for that that's pretty descriptive. I will put that link under this video. Hopefully I've touched on everything. Felt like I had a lot to say this morning, so, but I guess that's it. All right. See you on the table. This is our project for today. We'll go through it thoroughly at the end of the video. Little playing cards. I decorated the cards first, which was very fun, and then continued to put goodies on the cards. I'll kind of explain that when we go through the video as to the different layers and how I can cover them up as I go. I don't have a problem with that. We are early in the morning here. First cup of coffee going on now. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't. Our village is growing. Thank you for joining me. Okay, good morning. Coffee in hand, a little darker this morning. Trying to cut back on my half and half. I have been playing on the table a little bit without you. I do apologize for that. I have these fun little playing cards. I've put underpants on each side. I have, this is going to be a roof. It's going to be a house of cards. So I made a roof for the front and for the back. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with those yet. Look what reappeared this morning. This is from a previous project. I think where I sewed the tags into the fabric book. I think that's where she's from. So she's delicious. Anyway, back to the task at hand. I'm going to use her. That was my point there. So I'm going to bring these cards in. I'm going to paint them lightly with a bit of white gesso. Changing plans. Bringing in some texture paste. And I'm putting texture paste on one side with a palette knife. Just haphazardly. Have fun with it. Be playful with it. I have texture paste on one side. I'll set these aside and let them dry. I'm going to bring in one of the roofs and a stencil. I do use our homemade texture paste, which is equal amounts of gesso and Mod Podge, and then enough baby powder to make it whatever consistency you are comfortable working with. Set that aside to dry. Do the other one. When that side's dry, I'll flip them over and put texture paste on the other side. I want them to have kind of a vintagey feel. I'm going to bring in walnut stain and wild honey and play with those a little bit on the cards. One side is more dry than the other, so I'm going to go for the more dry side first. Do that to all the cards, and then turn them over and do the other side. All right, everybody's walnut stained on each side. Bring in my wild honey and add a little bit of the yellow. Oh, yum. To both sides. Bring in my timber brown StazOn. Go around the edges of everybody, everything. And remember, it's not getting the project done, it's enjoying the journey and the application of the energy and the playfulness in each project. Sometimes we can forget that and zoom through the project and miss the joy of the different layers and what they represent at the moment. Edge all your cards. All right, let's talk about what we've done. We have the card, we have underpants, we have texture paste, we have walnut stain distress ink, we have wild honey distress ink, and we have timber brown StazOn ink. So we've already visited these little cards 6 times, and that is where the fun is. Layer, 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 layer. Now I'm going to bring in some sandpaper and knock these down a bit. I want to take a moment and show you the before and after. So clearly these are the after. They've been sanded. And these are the before. So it is artist's choice as to which look you like better. I, of course, like the grungy. Some of the texture paste isn't dry yet. I just barrel right through it. Adding texture, even with that bit of texture paste that rolls off. And you know I'm going to save these little bits in a bottle, because those will be fun in another project. I have a little bit of Tangerine Dream Delusions. It's a shimmer spray. Line my cards up side by side. Bring in my trusty coffee cup. Now I could tip these and have them drip, but I don't want to for this one. Just want them to dry. This is a shimmer, so we should be able to see a little bit of shimmer as it dries. All right, we're gonna let those dry. Exciting! All right, look at these Yummalicious. Can you see the iridescence or the luminescence? Beautiful. So I'm going to turn them over and do the same thing on the other side, and then put my leftover spray back in the bottle. I'm going to paint the rooftops. Ooh, that's pretty. Paint the rooftops with that glorious color. And we'll let everything dry. All right, look at these delicious cards. Yum, yum, yum. I have a whole bunch of scraps, lace, ribbon, cloth, things like that. A lot of it is coffee dyed. This is dyed with black walnuts, so that's darker. I'm still going to use that. Fun scraps, scrippy scraps. Some burlap, that looks fun. Coffee stained. Oh, that's that card. We won't be pulling that off there. So those are those, and the cards, and the roof. And I went through one of my Somerset magazines and pulled out some fun images. I'm going to tear these and get them ready to sew onto the cards with the lace. Just some fun, whimsical little things. This is probably too colorful. Everything else is sepia. So I'll tear those into size and get ready to sew things onto my Yummalicious cards. The House of Cards. To tear out my images, I use a ruler. I like a ragged edge. I'll go through and tear my pieces to size. All right, I have 12 pages like this. I have 12 images. I'll bring in some lace. I'll give you an example of what I'm going to do. It's very free form, I suppose you could call it. So let's just say we have that. This is a piece of scrap paper from something else. That. Here's a fun scrap of cloth. And I will take that to my machine and sew it something like that. So this guy is so square, so straight, I can't get anything to work with him yet. So I'll bring in another piece. This and this. Yeah, something like that. That's better. All right, I totally went off the rails. On my way over there, I found a little frame. So I put them in a frame. Put a little bit of cluster around them. I'm going to show you a little close-up. All right, here's a little image. This is a piece off a music book cover. Here's a little ticket. Piece of fabric. A little something, something. Little something, something. That looks good. All right, let's create another one together because that's kind of fun. This is the fabric that was dyed with black walnut. That's kind of a fun image. Something like that. I have some fun, well-used sandpaper. Maybe put that there. Finding that those straight edges really bug me. Maybe something like that. We're going to go for it. All right, that turned out pretty good. We'll keep that. All right, let's play with this guy. Piece of frayed fabric. I'm afraid. I'm very afraid. Ah. Okay, that'll go there. He'll go here. This is an old book spine, which I think is delicious. I have a little bottle that I cut out, which is very fun. And a piece of corrugated cardboard. Let's give that a whirl. And there's that guy. Yep. Very fun. We have 2 more left. Okay, some of you are saying, well, why did we bother to do all this when we are just covering it up? And the point is to have fun, to be playful, to try new things, to be brave. We call it a brave space. Thank you, Taj. Having a brave space to try new things, find out if we like them, if we love them, if we want to try them again. Also, this is created in the present moment. And then I take the next layer, and that is created in the present moment. So the energy continues to build on that present moment. And the past is visible, but it's not overpowering. The past is visible, but not overpowering. And some of them, the past is not even visible. And I'm okay with that. All the playfulness is on the back. That will still be visible when you flip the pages. So why do we do art? To please the soul. To use our gifts. Yeah, to be playful. To have fun. Isn't that what it's all about? I think so. So we have 2 more to play with. I want to use this baby head. This was square, or a rectangle, and I cut half of it off. The white part, half of it off. I do want to leave the rest of the white there so that I have something to sew on when I take that to the sewing machine, but I want some definition on that side. That was kind of fun. All right, let's play with the doll head. This is kind of fun. I think it was orange and then I
either coffee dyed that or that went in with the black walnuts. I'm not sure. Just need a little something something up in there. How about some sandpaper? Keep playing until I find that something something. Here we go. All right, let's take that to the machine, see if we can sew that down. Yep, turned out fun. One more precious card to do. All right, I have this image, which is really fun. I'm going to bring in this last little piece of the walnut stain. Bring that in. It can stand by itself. It's a pretty incredible piece. I'll attach this up here, let that kind of hang down. That's good. Let's go try to sew that on. All right, here's the front and the back of our houses, our house of cards. That's the last one we did. This one was from the banner that got lost. Those are very, very fun. It's going to be a nice fat book. Love that. All right, we need to do something to the houses now. All right, I sewed the roof on this one. Yeah, I don't like it. So I'll pull this off. It's still going to have the holes there. We're just going to have to be okay with that. And I will glue it on with tacky glue. So I'll go ahead and glue this one on with tacky glue. This will be the front. With the door and the windows. The side's glued down. I don't mind those holes up there. That's fine. I might even hit that with some Stabilo. Blend those in. And rice bag time. Let those guys dry. All right, I'm going to bring in my crocodile on the small hole and pop holes in the front cover and the back cover and all of the pages. I'm going through the fabric and through the card, everything with the crocodile, making the holes, okay? So they'll be messy, and I'm okay with that. In fact, I like it and embrace it. Here are all the little holes from the crocodile. We'll put those in that bottle. Who knows where this bottle will end up. All right, I'm going to bring my book in, straighten it out, and put the Coptic binding in the book. I do have a video that will go through that step by step. I will put that in the link, and I'll do the Coptic binding, and I'll be back. Good morning. Coffee in hand, Stabilo in hand. I'm going to go around the windows and the doors. Windows and door of the little house front. I did get the Coptic binding done last night. I have that little piece of tape measure on my table just staring at me. So I'm going to take a number and put it on the roof. And there's our little house, our house of cards. We're going to take a closer look and do a little walkthrough. All right, so this is the front cover of our house of cards. We'll go through kind of slow so you can see all of the stitching and add-ons, and this was a book spine, little add-on here, corrugated cardboard cloth. I love the back side. This is the little girl with some lace, piece of paper in the background, doll head, tape measure, lace, sandpaper. Picture of a couple, some burlap behind them, fun frame. This was the fabric that was dyed with the black walnuts. Some sandpaper, image. That's a piece of my drop cloth. This was a piece that was lost in a previous project. Decided to pop her in and use her. She does not have anything on the back, and I'm okay with that. Makes her a little different. Here again, the fabric with the black walnut. Sandpaper along the side here, a little bit of lace, and some rick-rack. This was a piece of trash that I found on a walk. I like that it had the numbers on it. Fun images. These images are from Somerset. Corrugated cardboard. Background of lace. Tape measure. Some of that fun lace. More stitching. Piece of my drop cloth. This is a piece of front cover of a music book. These are fun tickets that I have. Black walnut lace. Some ribbon. I got this from Rosanna a long time ago. Love that. A little bit of the background peeking through. And then the back of the house. Lovely Coptic stitch here. Lots going on. I just left everything kind of hanging out, which is fun. And there is our house of cards. And your turn. Go create. Go play. Go have fun. So these are some very fun little mini squares that Kathy sent to me, and I'm going to play with the other side, which is still white. I have water at the ready, and I have some dilutions. Hopefully they're not clogged. We'll see. Funky Fuchsia, After Midnight, Tangerine Cream. Let's see if we can get anything to spray out. Okay, well, sort of. All right, next. I'll splatter some of that on there. Bring in my water. Go in there and sop up all the extra, blend what's on there. I'll continue sopping that up, and then I'll show you the results. Look at those are beautiful. This is a liquid acrylic spray. These are all dry. I'm going to bring in my tacky spray. Put a whisper on that. Bring in my well-loved foil. Sunny side up. Peel those off. Oh, look at them, they're gorgeous. This is the other side, which they're gorgeous too. A little bit of spray. Well-loved foil. This way it doesn't come on, it just sparkles it. Doesn't cover it. Those are beautiful. Let's get them on a white piece of paper so you can see them better. Thank you, Sonia, for that tip. Come in a little closer so you can see that. These are the colors that started off originally. And then these are, of course, my darker colors, because that's what I tend to do. Just gorgeous. All right, these are pieces of cardboard, about 1 inch by 1 inch. These are pieces of a skirt, Frankenstitches from one of my skirts. I'm going to glue that fabric onto that cardboard with some tacky glue. Cut off the excess. The only paint I have left on my desk is the acrylic yellow. So I'll spray the back of those with that acrylic yellow. Let that dry. I know they're not dry yet. That's okay. I'll bring in my StazOn Jet Black. Go around the edges. Bring in a couple of those gorgeous little tiles. Glue them onto the book covers. I have my 10 pages clipped together. I brought an old book in for support. Bring in my awl and poke a hole here and a hole here. I'm going to drive the awl in a little further, make those holes a little bit bigger. Come in on the back side. Do the same thing. Perfectly even, of course. Bring in a book cover. Line it up with the edge there. Clip that into place. Start a hole in the cover. And bring the other cover in. Start holes in that cover. them a little, make the holes a little bit bigger. All right, get ready for the Coptic stitch. All right, I have a gorgeous Coptic binding on this itty bitty book. I poked a hole in either the back or the front, doesn't matter. Winding a piece of the book, book twine with a button on it, and that'll be the closure for the book. Isn't that adorable? Itty bitty book. These are tiny glue dots. I'll put a glue dot on the page. Bring in my foil, my transfer foil. I'm going to go through, oh, it's so beautiful. Looks kind of like a galaxy. I'm going to go through here and put some glue dots and some foil on the pages, maybe 1 dot, maybe 2 dots, something like that on each page. This is the finished little book. It has the button that goes around, holds that in place. Fun patched front and back. And then the pages look like little solar systems to me. They're so beautiful. This was a challenge sent to me by Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. I am going to send this little book back to you. You can show the person that made the little pages if you would like, or you can play and add underpants and ephemera or little sayings to each page. Have fun with it. Growling tummy. And that was a fun little book to play in. Nice little distraction. Thank you, Kathy. Go create, go play, go have fun.